Hello students, today we are going to discuss another new chapter and the chapter name is called, it's a very small chapter and we will finish in one lecture only, and it's called Earth's magnetism. Now this Earth's magnetism, you are aware, you are aware of this, you are aware about this Earth's magnetism since it was introduced to you in class 6, where some experiment was done, maybe or may not be, I don't know, but as far as the curriculum is concerned, in class 6 and 7 we generally suspend a free bar magnet. We suspend a bar magnet in mid-air, and slowly and slowly the bar magnet aligns in a specified direction. Okay, it aligns along the north-south direction, and then the teacher demonstrates this experiment, and then he makes a conclusion that that this is because of Earth's own magnetic field. So we know that there is a core in the Earth, and that's because of rotation. There is a current, and the current is creating the core has the core is generally has a charged particles, okay, the in a molten state, the plasma state, okay, and because of the rotation it creates its own current, and because of that current the Earth has its own magnetic field, okay, and this magnetic field has some property, okay, so and how do they look like, okay, from where to where they go, and what exactly is magnetic north and what exactly is magnetic south, all those things, okay. So consider our Earth. This is my Earth. This one we call as North Pole, so we call this as geographical north. So for this North Pole I will use a symbol of G, okay, I use a symbol of suffix G, which signifies it's a North Pole but it's a geographical North Pole. And then we call this as South Pole. Which pole? The geographical South Pole. And then you have this this core of the Earth is rotating, is creating a current, and that current is creating its own magnetic field. And that magnetic field starts from this and then goes to this. So if it starts from here, then we call this as the North Pole. Which pole? Magnetic North Pole. Remember, the magnetic North Pole is basically towards the geographical South Pole, and hence the magnetic field goes like this and ends over here. This is my South Pole. Which pole? Magnetic South Pole. Okay. Now, if I just imagine an axis over here, then this axis is called geographical meridian. What is this imaginary axis? Just imagine if this is a very sharp object and I am just putting this inside. Just imagine it's a hot cheese ball, and then you have taken a very big knife, and then it just goes inside through it, the plane. And this plane is called geographical meridian. Okay, don't forget this. This is called geographical meridian. And if I do the same thing over here, which passes through this, okay, then this one is called magnetic meridian, okay, and there is an angle here, there is an angle which develops over here. Let me call this angle as theta, and I will come to that part. What is angle theta? Okay, so this is how our Earth's magnetic field, sorry, I am not wrong, this is how our Earth's magnetic field looks like. So it goes over here, it goes over here, so it runs like this, and there are many more. You can keep drawing. Now we know that opposite attracts, right? So when you use a compass and you saw that okay, this compass is pointing in that direction, so that has to be a north direction, because the compass north pole is basically pointing towards magnetic south, because north and south attracts. So if I consider this is my compass, and this compass has a, let us say, a magnetic the north pole of this compass has to point towards south only, because it has to get attracted. So basically when we say that we say that the magnetic north is basically the north pole of the magnetic compass points towards the magnetic south of the Earth, because it attracts, and magnetic south of the Earth is basically my geographical north, okay. and hence we say that it's pointing towards north direction. So remember, this is south pole of the magnet and this is the geographical north pole of the earth. Okay, so don't get confused. Just imagine that there is a bar magnet like this kept inside the earth. There is a huge bar magnet kept inside the earth with this as the north pole and this as the south pole. Okay, think you can think in that manner also. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to define that angle theta. At any place, look at this angle theta. Okay, you can note down from your book also. At any place, the acute angle between the magnetic meridian and the geographical meridian is called angle of declination. So this theta is called angle of declination. Okay, so at any place the acute angle between the magnetic meridian and the geographical meridian is called the angle of declination at any place. So right now we have found angle of declination at this particular point and that is how we are defining angle of declination. Okay, now moving ahead with this, what are the other components which we need to define in Earth's magnetism? This is a very three-dimensional picture and I'll try to give pictures as much as possible so that you understand it properly. Because what is coming up now is very important. Okay. See, when you talk about Earth's magnetic field, okay, Earth's magnetic field means what? It starts. If it starts from here, it will move like this and will go in this direction, correct? Can you see the shape? The shape is like this, correct? I can use this one. The shape is like this. It starts from here and it goes like this, correct? So if I consider that this is starting point, the north pole, then it goes over here, makes a curvature, and then it goes over here as south pole. Look at the curvature over here. Look at very carefully the curvature, extremely carefully. If I have to find direction on any curve, math says draw a tangent, okay? So if I draw a tangent exactly here, my tangent is exactly parallel. Suppose you just consider this to be my earth, okay, this to be my earth, okay, what do you call it, horizontal, equator, earth's equator, okay. So this is the sphere over here. So what I mean here is this, just imagine this diagram over here, consider that this is, I know that north pole is here and south pole is here, okay. But I'm just drawing it like so that you can just get a glimpse of that. Okay, I'll try to do it here also. So it comes up like this and it goes over here and then goes inside, okay? Over here. Look at here, over here. Now just at this point, over here, it goes up and then goes in, okay? It goes up and then goes in. Just over here, here. This is magnetic equator. At the magnetic equator, if I draw a tangent, look at here. Just at the magnetic equator. Over here. Okay, just here, this one. Okay, it goes over here, attains the peak and then goes down. Okay. So just over here at the magnetic equator. Over here, that means what you call in northern hemisphere, the magnetic field will look like this. Southern hemisphere, the magnetic field will be like this. Okay, like this. So it goes over here and goes like this. So exactly at the equator over here, we call this direction as the tangential direction, and this is the direction of magnetic field on the Earth's surface. But as you go again towards either northern hemisphere or in the southern hemisphere, sorry. The field is in this direction. If I'm in one of the hemisphere, and in the other hemisphere the field will be in this direction. Okay, it's like this tangent. This tangent will have two components. One will be the x component and one will be the y component. Okay? Remember here, this is absolutely parallel at the equator. It is parallel at the equator. when it goes over here, then it will have a component. Can you see the component? This is the x component, or this is the y component. We call the x component as parallel to the earth surface. Okay. So if you have understood all these things, now let me give a diagram over here. And this diagram is important. See, if you see here, I'm saying that the Earth's field is like this, correct? Earth's field is like this. But we are going to define a term called dip. Okay. Dip means always like dip. What is dip? The magnetic needle. So if I consider a magnetic needle, needle will have a north pole and a south pole. So if it is over here, it will dip in this direction. But if it is here, it will. This is also called dip only, because it will make a angle like this. Okay. So here also it will be in this shape only. The needle will make a shape like this, and here also it will make a shape like this. Okay. And here also we can make you can create an angle, and here also you can create an angle. All of this I am going to discuss this now in this particular diagram. Okay. Just consider this over here now. See that I have taken a segment of earth in a piece of cube. In a piece of a cube. Okay. Now consider this as A, this is B. This AB is called face diagonal. Okay, and A and D, this is called volume diagonal. Okay, don't forget these two parts. Okay, and I can draw this part, the last axis also. So A and D are called volume diagonal, and A and B are called face diagonal. Don't forget this. Now if I consider that this is my north direction, which direction? North. Which north? Geographical north. And let us say that this direction is my what you call the south pole, or you can say that this is my geographical meridian pointing towards the north. Geographical meridian, this one, and this one, geographical meridian. So this will be what? Magnetic meridian over here. So this is magnetic meridian. And remember this one, this is our east direction. The usual sign convention, north east, and this one is this one. So I can consider this one as south magnetic pole over here. Again the point. Okay. See here, I'm just drawing this part as a cube over there. This part as a cube over there. Now, this angle is what I defined as theta. That is angle of declination. Now what exactly is angle of declination? Now if I consider my Earth's magnetic field is coming like this, okay. So let's say here over here that the tangent over here, okay, is going like this. Field is coming like this. So the tangent points in this direction. So if I consider a tangent pointing in this direction, then I will draw a diagram which will touch the A and D. Remember, this is touching A and D. This is touching A and D. The volume diagram. This is touching A and D. Okay. This is the net field. Net field. Now this net field, remember this magnetic meridian. Now if I consider an angle, between the geographical meridian, magnetic meridian and the net field, this is called del, the angle of dip. The angle of dip. And this will have a component. This net field will have a component along this direction, and that is called the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. And this field will have another component over here, and this one is called the magnetic field component. the vertical field or the downward field, the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, and this one is called the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Okay. This is the diagram which I was talking about. Just look at here. Now, try to understand this one. So, if I consider that the field was looking like this, and this is how the field was. Okay, this is how the field was looking, starting from here and going to that part. So, this when I draw a tangent, the tangent was the net field. Now this tangent will have two components. This tangent will have a component which will be parallel to the x-axis, which will be parallel to this one, the magnetic meridian, and one which will be vertical to the magnetic meridian over here. The one which is along the magnetic meridian, that is what we call as Earth's horizontal magnetic field, and that field is very important. Whatever you do in compass and all, the field which is detected is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Because remember, compass is always pivoted on one particular point. So compass will always rotate in this. It cannot rotate in this because this is pivoted over here. And this rotation is because of the Earth's horizontal magnetic field. So that is the reason why the horizontal magnetic field is very important. Of course, the vertical tries to bend it, but it's not. We don't give them position because it's pivoted over here. So the vertical part has nothing to play. The horizontal has a very immense role to play because it deflects and it shows the geographical north direction. Okay. I'll try once more. Okay, I just try to explain. There's a chair over here. I'll just try to explain once more. Okay, because suddenly something came in my mind. I hope you can see the chair over there. Okay. Now just imagine. Okay, fine. This is the shape. This is the shape, and this field runs along the magnetic meridian. Okay, this field runs along the magnetic meridian. So if I consider a tangent like this, at this particular point, this is the net field. This net field will have component this one. This is called the horizontal magnetic field, and it will have one more component which is called the vertical magnetic field. So this is just imagine this black shape is the field. Okay, the Earth's field. And if I have to find the direction, I will draw a tangent like this. A tangent like this. So this component is parallel, the horizontal, and this one is vertical. Okay. So the horizontal component will lie along the magnetic meridian. Na? Horizontal component will lie along the magnetic meridian. Just look at this diagram over here. The compass is basically pointing towards the magnetic south. Okay, just look at this diagram. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So if you point along this direction, and this is the net, and this is the direction, and this angle is called angle of theta. Okay, moving ahead. So what is the angle of dip? What is angle of dip now? Angle of dip is defined as the angle between the field and the horizontal direction on the magnetic meridian. That is how we define angle of dip, which also you can find from the book. Okay, so you have to know two definitions. There are three definitions. These three definitions are very much repeated in board exam. What is Earth's horizontal magnetic field? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by angle of declination? And what do you mean by angle of dip? So over here, this del is called angle of dip. I can tell you the definition over here. Angle of dip. Angle of dip. The angle of dip at a place is the angle between the direction of Earth's magnetic field and the horizontal in the magnetic meridian. Okay, these two things you have to know. How these all things are related among each other. So the most important thing which you have to know is this, that this is my magnetic. I am just drawing this part. Okay. So if I draw this part, then this is consider that this was the geographical meridian, and this one is my magnetic meridian. Okay, so this is my Earth's horizontal magnetic field, this is the net field, and this is the vertical field. This angle is of theta, not of that importance for class 12, and this angle is called del. This angle is called del, the angle of dip, and this is the net field. Now how these all things are related? Now if you see here, I can write B cos del is equal to BH, and B sin del is equal to BV. So if I divide, I will get 10 del. Divide 2 by 1. So if I consider this to be 2 and this to be 1, so if I divide second equation with the first equation, I will get 10 del. 10 del is equal to vertical field divided by horizontal field. Okay. These are the three working formulas. One more is there. How will you find resultant? If I have to find resultant will be equal to root over of horizontal component square plus vertical component square. These are the formulas which we use to get the required answer, or the types of numerical which board generally ask in the exam. So for example, if I consider one question from here, so that you can just get an idea that how does the question looks like. So for example, you have a question like this. The horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field at a place is √3 times of the vertical component. Okay, the question says is this. So this is the question which I am referring here. It says that the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, at a place is √3 times the vertical component. So the horizontal component is √3 times the vertical component. Okay. What is the angle of dip at that place? So the angle of dip 10 del. The formula says your BV by BH. BV is how much? BV. Okay. BV you write as BV only, and then you write BH as √3V. √3BV. BV gets out. So what you will get? You will get 1 by √3, and you know what is 1 by √3. So the value of del is 30 degree. The value of del is 30 degree. So that is the angle of dip. Similar questions are like this. If the ratio of horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field to the resultant magnetic field at a place is 1 by √2, what is the angle of dip at that place? Similar question. Nothing much of difference. What is wrong with here? The ratio of, the question says like that, the ratio of horizontal magnetic field and the resultant magnetic field, the ratio is 1:√2. What is the angle of dip? Now we know that the relation between the net field and the horizontal field is this. This is the relationship between the two components, the vertical component and the horizontal component. This is the relationship between the vertical and the net. This is the relationship between the horizontal and the net. So horizontal net, vertical net, vertical horizontal. So we know that BH is equal to B cos del. So that means the value of cos del will be equal to BH by B. Now what is BH by B? Which is already given to you. BH by B is given as 1 by √2. This implies the value of del is equal to 45 degrees. This is another question which I just discussed. So these are the types of questions which they ask, and these are very simple question. Before I conclude the class, there is two things which are very important, and this is also a board questions which they ask very oftenly. The question is like this. Give the magnitude of Earth's horizontal magnetic field component and the angle of dip at the magnetic pole of the Earth. magnetic dip at the magnetic pole. Now what happens at the pole? If you look at the pole, see, if the field comes out like this, field comes out like this and ends over here like this. They end like this. So if they end like this, and over here, if I consider over here, let us say I can draw a tangent, I can draw some angles and all. But at the pole, okay, this is more easier to understand. This is horizontal. At the equator, angle of dip is 0 degree. It does not dip only. It is at 0 degree. Make this note. At the equator, the angle of dip is 0 degree. Now, as it goes, it makes angle. So the theta increases. Remember, theta is with respect to horizontal. So here, the net field is the horizontal. Net field is the horizontal, and then the net field starts dipping. So the horizontal has a component now. So what happens? The theta starts increasing, and at the pole, it enters like this. Okay. Look at here. It enters like this. So what is the angle of dip at the pole? Angle of dip at the pole is 90 degree. So what is the horizontal component of magnetic field? Horizontal component of magnetic field is 0. So at the pole over here, horizontal component of magnetic field is 0 because the entire magnetic field is like this. Okay? And here the angle of dip is 90 degree. This is very important thing you have to note down. Okay, so with this I suggest just as a curious student that what happens. Okay, we understood that the field is ends perpendicularly at the poles like this. It ends perpendicularly at the poles. So the angle of dip is 90 degree. Now, how this is related to the concept of aurora borealis? Okay, that beautiful sky at the poles. Okay, try to find the answer for this. Okay. Okay, with this I conclude my class. Thank you for watching.